This is Dr. Ankit Goel, your psychiatry faculty at Medway, and I have the privilege to introduce all of you Muqaddas Saeed, and she has got an amazing score of 174 in the FMG July 2025. So, heartiest congratulations. And I
Thank
would
you.
like you to please introduce yourself to all of us.
I am Muqadas Said. I've been a student of yours in Medway. I joined the coaching this for this attempt. This was my second attempt, and I have studied from Dhaka, from Taiwanesa.
Great. So, सबसे पहले तो I would ask you, what was the feeling when you saw the scorecard, and how was the feeling? How was the environment around?
So, so I was with my parents. I did not check my
Mhm.
result. I told my brother
Okay.
to check my result, and I was not able to believe. I mean, because of the difficulty level of the exam, I knew it was good. The paper was good, but I still was somewhere unsure. But it feels surreal. It still feels like that.
True, true. I am sure, all of us can vouch for that feeling when you get your score. So everybody must have been, really happy around you, your parents as they were
Yes.
there. Great. So, let us talk about your journey, about your preparation. So tell us, like, when did you started your preparation for this FMG exam?
I started when I joined the tuition, and I remember we had our first class was with Pallavi ma'am. It started with Derma, second was yours. So I started from day one only. Whenever I used to get time, I used to go back, and then I used to make sure because all of the teachers, all of you had already advised us that we have to revise this because if we don't do that, then it's not going to make any difference. So I used to make sure, even if I was tired, I used to make sure if I give at least 20 minutes after going back to revise the notes. So I used to do that. That was my key strategy to begin with, and do at least 50 questions. I started with 50 questions, and then I used to do at least 100 questions every day. So that's how I
Great.
started.
So,
So,
so when you were taking the classes, there only itself you were trying to cover up all the syllabus. Am I right?
yes, yes, sir.
And if I ask you, in fact, it will be useful for the students. Like, were you able to cover most of the syllabus during the classes? Like, how was
Yes,
it?
sir.
You were able
Yes,
to.
sir. I mean, yes, some classes are like the schedule is very hectic. Like in medicine, we were not able to study as much, but still, even revising 2, 3 pages, I think it makes a difference. I think there should be consistency. That's what matters because that was advised by the teachers only. So I was just going by that,
Right.
whatever
So
you
you
all
were
have said.
going with whatever was being told to you, and you were trying to follow that.
Teachers, yes.
Great.
Yes.
So as you were saying about the MCQs, so tell us, like, what was your approach when you would take up one subject? So there is a class, and there may be a few days after that. So how would you approach that? Including, would you do MCQs also?
Yes, sir. Every day I was doing at least 100 MCQs. And
Right.
to begin with, I started with 20 because it was like not possible for us because you know how the classes are, the schedule
True.
is very hectic. So I started with 20 MCQs to at least get a grip of it. And then I used to do 100 MCQs every day. So whenever the subject used to finish, like when psychiatry finished, and I had done 200 questions by then because your class was for 2 days. So that's how I started.
So you're able to balance the theory as well as the MCQs together. Great. So
It's
when the
difficult, sir, but yeah,
true, true.
manageable.
I understand, but I feel it's important to do MCQs also when you're reading the theory.
Very
Did you felt
important, sir. I think
right?
that's, yeah, to rule
Did you
out
felt
and to know how.
uh, did you felt that doing MCQs would also enhance your theory? Like it would improve,
Yes, sir.
isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, I
Right. So
think it's like a 50-50%. You have to do your theory for sure, your notes and
right.
the MCQs.
Great. So tell us about your journey with Medway. Like how were the classes? How were they scheduled? And tell us about how did you experience? So feedback for us is always welcome.
I think, sir, I'm very grateful, first of all, that I came to Medway because I know there are a lot of tuitions in Gautam Nagar and we were very confused. But starting, well, it felt like home. And whenever we used to have any difficulties, the administration is always there. Mehboob sir is there. They will always make sure you get what you want. if you don't have the access to app, they will make sure they'll help you. And then the teachers are definitely, I think, the best faculty I think we had there, including you and other teachers as well. So
Okay.
I think if anybody decides, and the main important thing is that the fee structure is lesser compared to any other tuitions, because we already had actually seen other tuitions as well, and that's why we came to Medway, because there's not a lot of difference in the faculty, and there's world class faculty in Medway as well.
So would I, if I ask you that, whatever was taught, whatever the notes, workbooks were provided, you attended the classes, were they sufficient? You felt that the course and everything was sufficient for clearing the exam?
Yes, sir. I think it was more than enough if you revise your notes. But yeah, it would definitely make a difference if you do MCQs as well, because
Right.
if there's something missing, you can just hoop up from there.
True. I totally agree. So once the classes were over, so once the notes and all those things were made, so tell us, talk through us, during that part, जब revision शुरू किया, when you started your revision again for the first time. So tell us, उस समय कैसे आपने strategy किया? What was the plan?
First of all, I made a timetable. I was only listening to all the teachers. I was not listening to
Great,
anyone else. I was
great.
not listening. Yeah. So whatever the teachers had told us to make a timetable and follow that timetable thoroughly. So my plan was to at least revise for 2 times, and then I'll have some days at the end where I saw all the rapid revisions, because teachers had told us that all the teachers, they upload their revisions or upload the MCQs, anything on YouTube. So I made sure that at least I complete 2 times, and then the remaining 10 days I had, I only watched the rapid revisions of all the subjects.
It's a
And I was
perfect.
doing MCQs 200 by then.
Great. I think it's a perfect strategy which we always discuss that, after you complete your notes, revise 2 times and then the last 10, 15 days, whatever is less, try to read everything important topics. So I think you followed that strategy really well. And,
Yes, so
you
that
started.
was made by all of you only.
Right,
That
right. So
was
I think
thanks to you.
following is also very important, so I think full marks would be, should be given to you for that. So tell me that you started doing MCQs, as you said, the time would be less initially when you were reading the subjects. After that,
Yes,
once
sir.
the subjects were over, the classes were over, then what was the number of MCQs you were doing every? Could you walk us through that?
Everybody will say 200, 300, but the last month, the last
Right,
remaining month that we had, I did 200 MCQs only then. Before
okay,
that, I was doing 180,
right,
because it was very hectic to actually
right.
read the
So I
theory
think,
and do the MCQs.
right. So I think it is fair that you would do 100, 100 plus MCQs
Yes.
would be fine. Right. Right. So, and also tell us about those last 10 or 15 days. What was your strategy before the exam?
I think so. Everybody loses it for sure.
Mhm.
I was not sure what I was doing, but I had faith, because I
Right.
had seen students coming before from Medway only, and they would tell us every time that you only have to trust the faculty and do not change your sources no matter what.
Right.
So I sticked by that. I did not change my sources. Whatever anybody would say, this teacher is better, this teacher. I only stick to my sources. I only stick to the notes that were provided to us, and I made sure that I did not let go of any subject, because many people tend to think that these subjects are not that important, carry less weightage. So I was trying to make sure that I revise all those subjects as well.
So grant test you did, again, repeatedly you did grant test. And how was your score? Like, what would be your score in the grant test or the mock test?
The first test that I gave, I got 134, and then
Okay.
the other test I gave, I got 164, and then the other
Okay.
one 170 something.
Okay. So, were there any times when you would feel that the score is dipping or maybe not what you're expecting? Were there days like this?
I was feeling basically, so when we started the tuition, the score was not good, but the more we began to study, the scores were up.
Right.
Everybody will see the performance goes up if you're studying, and if you're
True.
consistent, the score is going to go up.
Right.
Uh, no, sir. I mean, I think the scores were going up only, and I was
Right. So
happy
it
with
was
that.
consistent. So that again suggests
Consistent,
that
yeah.
you were reading well and the scores were in the GT were reflecting that. Great.
Yeah, so
And
even in the modules, I was getting around 50%. I was getting minimum
right.
50, though I was getting.
Great.
So it's like that, yeah.
Right. So were there any days, during the preparation, such days come when, you don't feel like studying or, you feel a little less motivated? Were there days in your journey like this and how did you manage those days?
Yes, sir. I think everybody has those days. And I was just making sure that even if I'm doing 20 MCQs on that day, if I don't feel like studying, if I don't like feel like getting out of the bed, I will still do at least 20 MCQs, 30 MCQs. So I don't feel guilty about it
Ah,
later that I
right.
didn't do my best. That's
Right. So even in on those days you kept walking towards your goal. So that's very important. As we keep moving forward is something which is very important. Acha.
yes.
Also, tell us about that exam day. What were the thoughts when you woke up in the morning on that exam day, and how did you went through the exam, both the exams? So tell us about that.
I couldn't sleep, sir. I didn't sleep.
Okay.
I couldn't sleep. I tried a lot, but I
Right.
couldn't sleep. And then when we went, I was going through the Medway bus only. So they were very helpful for us. Obviously, they made sure that they gave us refreshments
Right.
and everything. But the center, facilities were not as good, sir, because
Okay.
they don't give you. I mean, they charge a lot. The
Right.
fee is around 7,000 or 6,000, and then they don't give you facilities. So I think everybody will relate to this that you just you just feel like you cannot do the exam. I felt 2 3 times I felt like I'm gonna go into some hypoglycemic shock because we were all sweating. It was hot over there. I
Right.
was just praying that I do well in this exam and I survive this exam somehow.
So when the exam started, when you started seeing the questions, were there questions which were appearing difficult, or you felt that I may not know the right answer? How did you
So
manage? Right.
I feel like when I saw paper one, I felt like the paper was difficult. Everybody
Okay.
keeps
Right.
saying it was moderate, but I felt like it was difficult.
Right.
And then I thought maybe paper two will be easy. But when I saw paper two, I thought okay, paper one was easier
Okay.
because what we expect mostly the questions would come out of subjects like surgery, medicine, and in
Right.
paper two we were only seeing optha, gynae ops,
Right.
and even in gynae ops the questions were kind of tricky this time.
Hmm.
There was part to graph, and even with
Hmm.
psychiatry, I think the questions were kind of
Hmm.
twisted
Tricky
somehow.
word. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but if you're very consistent with your studies, I think there's some
True.
subconscious memory that helps you recall. I think.
True. So I think that all that effort of giving GT's mock test, I think did it helped finally when you're sitting in the exam? Did it appeared like a GT only, like I'm giving another GT or another test?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a bit different, but yeah,
True.
I mean,
True. In a way. So there was practice. You were giving the GTs and mock tests regularly. So there was a
yes,
practice, even
yeah,
if
you should do that. Yeah.
right. So you would, even if the exam was tricky, you were still able to manage most of those
Yes, sir.
questions. Great. Great. So I understand during this journey family support, friends they support us a lot, and a lot of hard work goes not just from our side, even from their side. So this is your stage, and I would like you to mention any people you would like to mention that helped you in your journey.
I think so, definitely my parents, because they have always been supportive of whatever I do, however I want to do it.
Right.
And the faculty at Medway. I think there's no one else that I would like to thank. Even my family, I don't think they know what we go through when we're outside our homes. I think that teachers that help us get through it every time they tell us that you are doctors to us, it doesn't matter. So I think that definitely makes a big difference. And I remember even Aman sir coming at the, I think, last of the days, and he gave us a good motivational speech, which actually made us feel like, yes, we can do it. And Parasar used to come, he used to make us chant these things, ki hum pass karenge. So that really does help a lot. All the teachers I would like to thank, beginning from you and all other
Thank you.
faculty members.
Right. So I think it has been a great journey. And finally, I would want you to give a message to all the students who are going to now prepare for the upcoming exams in the future. So what message would you like to give them?
I will just say that do not listen to anyone. Just listen to what the teachers say from day one and be consistent. It doesn't matter if you're doing 20 MCQs, 10 MCQs, just be consistent with what you're doing and don't change your sources. Just don't change your sources.
Continuously revise. I think that is one of the important keys, that you continue revising whatever you have read. So great. So I think
Yes,
it
sir.
was it was really wonderful talking to you, and we
Thanks.
wish all the very best from the entire team
Thank
of
you, sir.
Medway for your future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.